Everybody, this is Joel Toppin here again, and I've got a second GMT game I picked up. This one here has been out of print for a little while, but I was able to find a copy, and this is 1914 Twilight in the East. It's the first game produced by GMT Games from Michael Resch, and it is the earlier game to it uses a similar system to the new game 1914 Offensive Automats. So this one here is an easier game name to say, Twilight in the East. But as I understand, it's a bigger game. I kind of held off on it because it is a large game, and I don't think it's going to fit on my 5-foot by 8-foot table. But there are smaller scenarios in there, and on the off chance I will get a chance to play it. Seeing how I found a shrink-wrapped copy, I decided to pick it up while I could. So let's give you a look at what comes inside the box. Again, it's a deep box. And lots of charts. Now, if you saw my video for the more recent game on the Western Front, you'll notice immediately that the charts have gotten an upgrade since 2007. This is just regular cardstock, no color charts. So there's some combat stuff there, terrain effects chart. There you go. Host of maps. This one's got more maps than the first game did. And you can see here the detail and the style on the maps is very similar to the Western Front game. So this is a small map here. It's not. Looks like it's just 8.5 inches wide. That's probably going to overlap something else. Here is another map that feels smaller than ordinary. This is Southern Galicia map. So here's now this one here is a full-size map. And these are printed on nice stock too, by the way. This is the, doesn't say which side of the map this is on, but there you can see the city of Grodno, Białystok. I love the artwork on this. There's one full, two full size, and there's your map key for you, as well as some play aids. Alright, third full-size map. So it looks like you got 3 full-size maps and a couple smaller maps beside. So there you go. There's Brett the Tusk. Okay, here we go with the counters. I'll just turn the map sideways here, or the box sideways, so we can see these. Gray counters, sheet 1 of 8. I like how they did this better. It's easier to tell if you're missing something or not. Sheet 1 of 8's got, looks like Germans on here. And sheet 2 of 8, those got to be Russians. 3 of 8, more Russians. 4 of 8, can't tell if these are Germans or, no, these have got to be Austrians. Here, way too many to be Germans. Alright, so there's 4 of 8 with Austrians. 5 of 8 has got some more Austrians, looks like, on here, as well as some markers. Sheet 6 of 8 has got markers. Now, lots of numbered markers and railheads. 7 of 8, more markers. And 8 of 8, more markers. Alright, always a good thing to find all the counter sheets, especially when you have a shrink-wrapped, out-of-print game. It's always the horror of, what if I'm missing something? Okay, here's a turn record track, which is like the new game, except this is semi-gloss, or rather matte finish instead of the semi-gloss, which I prefer. I like the matte finish better. So there you go. Looks like 47 turns of gaming indulgence awaits you here at Twilight in the East. Dice, we've got 4 dice, which I managed to take the counters out without slinging these all over the place. 2 sets of baggies. Now, I'm betting you could probably get all those counters in 20 of these baggies, but I don't know. It's like maybe having a family reunion at a Motel 6. You could probably get everybody in there, but I don't know how comfortable it'll be. You probably want to go with counter trays for this bad boy. Alrighty, here we go. Army displays are not quite as impressive in this as in the new game, but there they are. All the where you're going to track the status of each of the armies. And we have 1, 2, these are cardstock, by the way, 3, 4, and 5 of these. Now this is what's, I think, really going to cut down in your table space. And they just keep coming here. Because you're going to need to track, you know, this on the table. There is just a ton of these. So, yeah, counter space-wise, this is probably what's going to hurt the most, is having to set all this up in addition to the maps. So, big space commitment here, I think, for the full campaign. Okay, here is more charts. Identical charts to the ones we saw earlier. Looks like each player, looks like there's 2 sets of everything here. Yep. So there's 2 sets of charts. The new one comes with 4 sets of charts. So there's enough for 4 players to each have their own set. Here is the rule book, which feels heftier than the first game, and I've heard that this one is more involved than the newer game is. 48 pages. So, including some player notes. Again, it's black and white. So there is your rule book. It doesn't feel overwhelming, but from what I understand, this is going to be slightly more involved than the Western Front game will be. But you're also dealing with a larger territory, and that probably means more scenarios. And so here is the playbook, weighing in almost twice as long as the newer game here, with a total of 56 pages and a ton of battles. First battle, Masurian Lakes, Lublin, Galicia, Tannenberg campaign, the Grand Campaign, Eastern Front, and so there you have it. Lots of goodies here. Plus there was some stuff in C3I for Twilight in the East, so which I do have somewhere in my library here. But that gives you a look at what comes inside of these 2 games by Michael Resch. I'm actually really looking forward to the Serbian Front game, which is still on P500, and I'm not sure when it's slated for release, but the Serbian game looks really cool. So there you have it, Twilight in the East, and that's what comes inside the box.